This right here is the 3-tier over the sink dish drying rack, and this is probably one of the biggest dish drying racks that I've ever seen. So this one right here has been sent to me free of charge for this review, so I can show you all of the different features. Now, when you first get this dish drying rack, you do have to assemble it, and the assembly process is pretty simple. However, you do need to keep in mind the size of the screws. So in the user manual, they do tell you that you get 18 screws, but what they don't tell you is that those screws are 2 different sizes. So I have these 2 screws to show you here, and these are the longer screws. So these longer screws are going to be placed in this extension rod at the bottom, and that's the only time you're going to be using the long screws. So you're going to need 4 of them. All of the other shorter screws are going to be used to connect everything else together. So when I was putting it together, I made the mistake of using the longer screws because I thought they were all the same size. And then once I got further into the assembly process, I started looking at the screws and realized that they are, in fact, 2 different sizes. So do keep that in mind when putting it together. Short ones go on the main portion, long ones are on the extension rod. So for the extension rod, that is going to allow you to change the size of the dish drying rack to fit your sink. So if you have a smaller area, then you can push it together. If you have a larger area, then you can extend it. Since we already have ours fixed to where it needs to be, I can't show you what those adjustments look like, but you would adjust it with this knob right here. So if you twist that, that's going to loosen up the extension rod, and then you're able to separate it or push it together. So the smallest size is going to be around 29 inches, and then the biggest size is going to be around 37 inches, and then the whole entire thing stands about 33 inches tall. So do keep those measurements in mind so you don't purchase this and then realize that it's not going to fit in your kitchen. But with this dish drying rack, this has a ton of space on it, and it's going to allow you to put a lot of your dishes on it, whether it be to dry them or just for storage. So up here on the top, we have where your pots and your pans and your plates could go. Down here on the bottom, we have more areas for bowls and cups. We have these hooks right here, and you can utilize these in a variety of different ways. As you see, we have our coffee mugs hanging from them, but you can hang spatulas, spoons, anything like that. Over here, we have areas for some cups, or if you have wine glasses that you want to hang up. Then we do have the utensil holder, and with that utensil holder, you do also have a knife holder as well, so you can keep those 2 separated. And then we have a cutting board holder, a little basket for some miscellaneous stuff, and then you do also have a paper towel holder. So the paper towel holder we put back here because with our setup, it's supposed to go right here, but this cabinet does get in the way, so we can't put it where it's supposed to be. But there really is no designated area for where you have to place anything. You can kind of customize it and put the baskets and the hooks in the areas that you want, and you don't even have to use all of the stuff that it gives you. Like I said, you can customize it to how it's best going to fit and look in your kitchen. But this is a pretty sturdy dish drying rack. I mean, this isn't screwed into place anywhere. It's just sitting flat on the countertop. Now, if your countertop isn't level, these foot pads are adjustable, so you can either lengthen them or shorten them so it stays sturdy. With this being sturdy, it can hold up to 200 pounds, which is pretty impressive. I don't think anyone's going to have that much stuff on it to reach that weight capacity, but that is a pretty large weight capacity for it being a dish drying rack. But with that, this is also made of a stainless steel, which is also going to be rust proof, which is really nice because of course you're using this as a dish drying rack. It's going to get wet and you don't want it to start rusting and look bad. When it does need cleaned, you are able to disassemble it and then simply just wash it with some warm water. I probably wouldn't use soap on it because you don't want to damage any of the coating or anything like that. One big thing I really like about this dish drying rack, which might apply to you as well, is how much space it is freed up. So before this, we had a dish drying rack in the sink, and then we also had a 2-tier dish drying rack over here on the side. And we have a small kitchen, we don't have much counter space, but with this, we were able to take out both of the old dish drying racks and replacing it with one big one while freeing up a lot of our counter space. But that's pretty much everything about this dish drying rack. Like I said, it is 3-tier. It's going to be able to hold a wide variety of your kitchen utensils, and whether you are using this as a dish drying rack or using it as storage, I do think you're going to be really pleased with the amount of kitchen items that you're going to be able to place on this dish drying rack.